So what's up? I just wanted to arbitrarily pick up a detail on 3D animation of the house because it's one of the details I struggled with most, and that's how to make a spiral staircase because there's more houses than one where I needed to know how to do this. So what happens to make a spiral staircase, you're going to need to make a circle, but when you click on the circle button before you do anything, there's going to be a little sides thing that's going to come up here. And a spiral staircase has 12 sides. So you'll click 12 and click enter. Now when you draw your circle, it's got 12 sides to make a circle. Now we're going to make a 5-foot circle or a 4-foot. I didn't measure the diameter, but we're going to make that little circle, and we're going to use this to make steps because the spiral staircase has to be a circle, and the steps are going to be evenly spaced to go up and around this circle climbing the staircase. So we're going to take our line tool, and we're going to go from our center point out to one of the endpoints on the edge. And now we have that. Now that's our wedge, which is going to be one stair tread of the 12 stairs that go up the spiral case. Well, to get rid of the rest of the stuff, you take your eraser and just drag it across, and then you'll go back to your selection tool and select your wedge. Now, we don't need to select it. We need to actually make this a tread because it's paper thin, so we need to make it 3-dimensional. So we'll take the push-pull tool and say give it a value of 4 inches and click enter. Now we can select it. We're going to make a component. We'll call this spiral tread. And we're going to make sure to replace selection with component is checked in this box, and we'll go create. Now, when we go over here, we got this cool little tread, and Q is the rotate tool. If we go to this rotate tool and we rotate it, nothing happens. But if we press Control while we rotate, it'll force a copy. And you can force a copy like that. Now, I can place that, and up here in this angle section, if I put times 11 and just click enter, it'll inference that component copy and make a whole bunch of components inference to that movement that I made. Now, we have all these stair treads in a perfect circle, but we need to evenly space them to be a staircase that goes up in the air. So what happens is if I select all of this, kind of zoom in, get a little better accuracy, and I take my move tool, which is M, and I get an inferencing point, which is, it looks like a good point there. And if I move it, it'll move, but if I press Control, it'll do a force copy. Now, while I'm trying to move this up, I want to make my adjustment for the spacing between each rise of the stair. So I'm just going to click 11 and click enter. And then I'm going to take that same thing in the box up here in the distance, and I'm going to press times 11 and click enter. And it's going to give me that 11-inch spacing for the rise, and it's going to times 11 copies of all those platforms, which is the evenly spaced stair treads. Okay, it's a little bit interesting to find this out, but if we go back into our select tool and we select, we got to hold shift and select these treads that are going up. which is you go a space and then one up each tread. Maybe zoom in a little bit here. And we just keep selecting these treads all the way up to the top of the spiral. And you can get that. Now you might have to play around with this if you have a smaller diameter spiral staircase, or if you have less stairs, or if there's more rise. But to get the general idea, we have all the stair steps selected. Now, if we go Shift and select the whole box here, and then press delete, we have just our stair treads going up as a spiral. Now, we're going to need rails too. So what we do to do rails is we can inference this component so that if we make an adjustment on one component, it makes an adjustment on all the components. So what we do is we select the component, and now we can take a line tool, kind of find our midpoint. Now from our midpoint, let's say we could do a rail in the center, or we could do it kind of offset. So there's two rails in each tread because these are kind of larger treads. We just click that point, find our axis, and then go 3 feet up, and we have that. But nothing happened over here, so I did do something wrong. So when I go to my select tool and I right click on this, I can actually edit component, and that's going to inference the rest of them. So then I'll go back to my line tool here and get this axis correct, 3 feet up. And then now I have all the vertical railings going. Well, now I could just connect this vertical rail, and I got this little rail going up. Well, if I exit, I could do a new line, and we can space it right here. Just get that axis correctly. And then all of a sudden, we have this beautiful railing for this spiral staircase. Now, we need the posts. Well, the posts, if we do the component, it's going to make an adjustment to all the components. So we're going to go back to our select tool, select out of the component, go back to our circle tool, use our arrows to get our axes the correct way, and then we'll just go 4-inch wide pipe, use our push-pull tool, and let me get up here. And we'll just drag the center post of the spiral staircase all the way up. Now we have this beautiful spiral staircase for 3D rendering. Looks like I was off a little bit connecting my lines on that one, but that's okay. Just a general idea how to quickly mock up a 3D rendering of that challenging piece in the house. All right, later on.